Hello everybody. Today I wanted to set up the books that I'm going to be using as a media journal and also I'm going to use one for a media journal and the other one is going to be kind of a work reference book for me. I noticed that last year I made a lot of notes in the back of my planner that I wanted to keep, and I want to keep referencing. I did reference them throughout the year and I need them, and so I didn't want to have to keep rewriting them every year, and so I came up with this idea to make kind of a planner that just has work reference in it. And then I also wanted to keep I was keeping my books read and my reviews and everything in the back of my planner as well, and I really wanted those to be separate. So that's where I got this idea. And this is kind of like a commonplace book, but I imagine that this is probably going to last more than a year, and I wanted to keep more than just books and quotes in it. It's going to be more just like the movies I've watched and the reviews and the books that I've read and the reviews and anything that notable in there that I wanted to write, because sometimes I take quotes from movies too, so I wanted to be able to have that and look back on it. So, and again, I don't watch a lot of movies and I only read maybe 20 to 30 books a year, so this, I imagine, is going to take much more than a year to fill up as well. So, that said, I'm going to modify these a little bit. And I'm sure if you've been watching in the planner community, you have seen this before. So this should not be new, but if it is, then you can watch and maybe join along. So I'm going to use these. This is just kind of a linen cardstock. I believe I probably got this at Michael's, and it's kind of in a sage green. I really, really like this color, and it goes really well with these papers that I downloaded and printed off myself. I got these papers, these designs off of, it's called pixelscrapper.com. or scrapbook.com, it might be. They might have changed it now. I will find it and link it in the description so that you can go there for yourself. And they have a ton of just beautiful papers and designs and PNG designs, and you can purchase them. It's like a subscription to the website. With a limited license. You can purchase a commercial license, but I just did these for my personal use. And I believe they even have a like you can download like one free a day or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sponsored, and it's been several years since I've been on that website, but I did want to tell you where I got them because I believe that these are just beautiful, and I thought someone else might also think that they were pretty. So that's where I got this. And then I also have these that I also got from that same website, and I just love this quote on here. And so this one I'm gonna put on, I'm not sure which one will be which, but so I'm gonna use, this is gonna be the front cover, and then this will be the back cover, and these are gonna be on the inside. So let's get started. So what I typically do is I will lay one across the front cover, and then I'll put this other one on the back cover. And I do need to cut. I did not get my paper trimmer. I will be right back. Okay, paper trimmer in hand, and I'm gonna trim the white off of these, off of this. I have seen several people do modifications of their composition journals, and lots of people like that black and white kind of cover. I do not. I have never liked that ever. I like flowers, and that's kind of more of a natural aesthetic, is more my. I do want that to overlap some. Let's see, how am I going to do that? Because maybe I will just cut it. I don't cut very straight, but that's okay. It's not going to be that big of a deal. So I made some of these, I've modified some before, like in 2022 and part of 2023, I was actually journaling in a composition book. And it took me about a third of the year. So I have like 3 of them from 2022 and in 2023. I can't remember when I switched over to a regular planner, maybe 2024. And I should go grab those and show you how they turned out. I won't do a flip through. There's a lot of personal stuff in there, but I can show you how the covers turned out. And so you can kind of see what we're going for here. After I get these cut down. I love these composition notebooks. They take fountain pen ink. They take every ink I've thrown at them except for Sharpie markers and any, alcohol-based inks. But otherwise, I don't even use Sharpies at all unless I'm writing on like poster board or something like that, cardboard. So I've never had a problem with the paper bleeding. And the inks, just takes the inks really well. It takes watercolor too, although I don't watercolor. I've seen lots of other people do that. Okay, those are cut down. I'm gonna go grab those other books so I can show them to you. All right, so this is the first one that I did. And I kind of messed it up because I cut off part of this here, but I made this cover from one of again, from that Pixel Scrapper, scrapbook.com. I downloaded this background paper, and then I imported this into GoodNotes, and I had paid for this font that I actually got off of Creative Fabrica, and I made this. It's just a scripture, and I made that, and then I overlaid it in GoodNotes. I put it on top of the paper, and then I printed this out. And so here's what it would have looked like had I not actually cut it off. But so here's that, and then on the inside I put this kind of cardstock and some more of that paper right here, and then in the back. Here, the back side is just more of that paper. And then I did, again, the cardstock on the back. So that's what I plan on doing with this one. And then the next one I did, these two they all go together. This was all 2021 into 2020, or 2022 into 2023. So what I did here, I bought this. This was a planner I bought from Walmart. And I really liked the cover of it and some of the interior, but it just didn't work for me as a planner. But I loved this cover. So I took the cover off, and so then I made it, and I used it to cover the composition notebook. This is actually a pocket that failed. There's the pocket. It was just too small. It was my first attempt at trying to make a pocket, and I just cut a piece of paper and taped the edges of it to here. And then these feathers are actually from Dollar Tree. It was a one of those big sticker packs that you can get, maybe for windows or something. And I liked the dream catcher with the feathers, so I kept it, and I'm like, I can use that in my journal. And this is duct tape. Duct tape I got from Walmart. I'm not sure if they still have this design, but I thought it was so pretty, and so I used it. And that paper, I have no idea where that came from. I've had that for a really long time, years and years. So that was this one, and I cut the front. This is the front of that planner, and I used duct tape to kind of hold it down, and then I just used some pink cardstock on the back for the back of that one, and taped on this elastic to hold it closed, because at that point I was still wanting to have something to close my journal, because I had come from using the A5 journals with the strap that goes over them to close them. And so I thought, oh, I need to do that. And so I did, but decided I didn't really want to do that anymore after I did that one. And then this is the last one I did. And this is just a magazine cover, or not a cover. It was a magazine, like a article or an ad inside the magazine. And I'm like, I really like that. So I just clipped it and kept it, and it's on top of some cardstock. This is the calendar. I want to say that's from Happy Planner. And so I took this calendar out and put it in here again, another pocket that was too small to be helpful. But there it is, I did it. So that was the interior of that one, and then here is the back with some of my son's artwork. What did I do on the back here? Did I glue that down? No. Okay. So just the pink cardstock on the back of that. And so, oh, and then that's the back of that planner cover that I just took off, the one that I got from Walmart. So those are 3 that I had done in the past. And so that's where this idea came from. And that's kind of where I'm going today. All right. So let's I want this one on top. I think I'm just gonna, lay that. I might have to use some like better tape or better glue, but we'll see. We'll see. It doesn't stick. In the past, I've used packing tape, which is wonderful. I don't have any right now, so I won't be doing that today. But I may go back later and put some packing tape over it. And I want this too. I don't like to have any of that black and white showing. I really don't like that. So I'll lay that right there. And it overlaps, and that's intentional. I'll show you what we're gonna do with that. Just a minute. Oop. I had it. I did not. I want it to go just. There we go. Okay. Then what we'll do is we're going to fold this over. Make sure you can see what I'm doing there. Sorry for all the noise here. Okay, and we're going to fold that one over. you can do is cut this corner and then fold this over like that. Don't worry, I'm going to cover that up. This is going to all be covered up in the end. But this helps hold the cover, hold it down, and it also gets rid of any edges. I just like the look of that better. So there is that part. And then we will take this. Oh! Sorry about that. Okay, then we'll take this cardstock and we're just gonna lay, nope, we're gonna have to cut it. We're gonna lay that right in there like that. But I'm gonna need to figure out kind of what is the right there. Because you know I can't cut a straight line. Anybody else like that? Trying to cut a straight line freehand? Fun. I really don't think that that's a good idea. So let me go ahead and just cut the edge off of this. I need a pencil so I can cut that. And hopefully this will fit in the, I need a bigger what are these called? This thing right here, paper cutter. That will fit a bigger piece of paper into it. That'll work, I'll make it work. And I'll just cut this little bit off here. Since I'm going to be doing this with 4 pieces of paper, I'm going to go ahead and just cut the other 4 as well. So when we get to that, we can just cut those. Glue them in. Don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, there's that one. Use this as a guide. This really doesn't take very long. The hardest part was the part I did before I started filming, and that was just getting the papers ready, downloading the papers and getting them printed out. That actually took longer because I don't have a streamlined setup. And unfortunately, working with Apple and then trying to convert everything to a PC is kind of a pain. Anybody else feel that? Like, I almost want to just go buy a new Samsung phone so that it will talk to my PC and I can transfer all my video just straight over and photos and everything and go work from my computer instead of trying to do everything on my phone. I have an iPad, but the iPad doesn't, I'm struggling with getting my videos to transfer over. I need a new blade on that. From my phone to the iPad, because there's not, my iPad's old, or my phone is newer, but my iPad's pretty old. It's like a 21, I think. And it doesn't have a lot of storage on it. and my phone has a lot more storage on it. So it keeps telling me I don't have enough storage on my iPad for the videos. And so I can't work, I can't edit videos and film on my iPad, which would be a lot handier, honestly. But I'm figuring it out. We're doing it on the phone, and these are like third world problems, right? First world problems, right? First world problems. I'm fortunate to be able to afford both a phone and an iPad and a computer, because I'm sure that there's people in the world that do not have that luxury. I know there are. Okay. I started to make a video about my adventures last week. Ooh, I might have cut that one too small. Hopefully not. And I was having, I don't know, there was some audio. I did film it. I had some audio glitch, and I could not get the audio that I had filmed to come through. So it was just me talking to the screen with no sound. Could not get the sound. After struggling with it for quite some time, I said, okay, well, I won't be using that video, and I just deleted it. Fun stuff. So, but I can tell you about my little fun trip this week. I live in a really small town, very rural, and my car engine light came on. Yeah, that looks good. So we'll just glue that down. A couple of weeks ago, and I started having problems with the starter. Not the starter. It wouldn't. I started having problems with it actually staying running. So I would drive it, like if I drove it to the gas station and I stopped to get gas, and then when I would go to start it again, it would start, but it would like sputter and die, sputter and die, sputter and die. And I would have to let it sit there for maybe half hour, 10 minutes to half an hour, and it would start. And then it would start, and it would start it fine. And it would drive. It would drive fine. It was just that if I drove it and then stopped it, especially if I had just gotten gas, it would not start. And I was afraid that I was going to drive it somewhere and stop and get out and then be stranded. So right about the time that this started happening, the check engine light came on. So I called my Ford dealership up here, and they weren't going to be able to get me in until next week. And I was like, I have to drive like long distances. I need my car before then. So my adventure last week was I took it to my mom's in another state, Oklahoma. And she helped me. She gave me a ride back and forth from the dealership so that we could get it fixed. And it was, they fixed it and no problems. The drive there that turned out good. The drive there was a little concerning. I had to stop at the gas station once, and of course it did the thing. And it didn't want to start. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, please start, please start, please start. And after about 5 minutes, it started. I was just thinking, please don't leave me stranded. Please don't leave me stranded here in I was in Oklahoma at that point, but I had to go there because there's anybody up here that could give me a ride to the dealer anyway, to leave the car and then pick me up, take me back when it was done. So anyway, that was my adventure last week, was the whole trip to Oklahoma, getting it fixed, and am I gonna make it? And fortunately I did, and we're actually back home now and everything is good. Let's see, I'm gonna make sure I get this up right so the words go this way. That's exactly the way I wanted it. Okay. So we're gonna lay this right like that. just like that. We'll do the same thing we did on the front cover. We're just going to fold this over and glue it down. So are you all ready for Christmas? I did get a bunch of Christmas shopping done while I was gone last week. I think I am done. I might get my son like one more thing. I don't know. He's got a lot. He's got enough. So probably not going to get anything else for him, but so all my Christmas shopping is done. Let's see, just gonna cut a smaller bit off at the corner here. Not as much this time. I think I cut too much last time. Cut those little corners off and then put that up. Yeah, oh, that looks so much better. So if you're doing this, don't cut too much off the corners like I did that first time. So that turned out a lot better that time. And this should be already cut perfect. So we'll just lay this in there. I love this glue. I have never had a problem with it not sticking. Well, that's not true. Occasionally it will come up, but for the most part, it goes down and it's fine. I don't have any problems with it. And it's cheap. It's cheaper, especially around school time, you know, when these kids are going back to school. You can get it for really cheap. So if you're planning on a budget, composition notebooks are a great option because you can decorate them to make them look however you want, whatever you like, and the paper's really pretty good, and they're cheap. They're like $1. I mean, like, can't beat that. Okay, so here we go. That's sticking up a little bit. I'm probably gonna go back and put some tape down on these just to give them, because I'm going to be using these for years, so I want to make sure that they hold up. So I probably will go back and put some packing tape along here just to reinforce it, and I will do that on both sides. So there's the first one is done. Look at that. All right. Okay, let's see if we can get the other one done. I'm going to be doing the same. The plan is the same, actually. Well, you know what? Now that you've actually seen one, I will just go ahead and I'll do this one and I'll show you the finished product, but I'm not going to make you guys sit through the torture of watching me cut the paper and down everything again. So I will be back in the magic of video with a completed book. And ta-da, there it is. It is all finished. So I had to modify it a little bit. My original plan was to have this on the front, but because this quote is on the right side, if I had put it on the front, I would have had to have cut off part of the quote, and I didn't want to do that. And I really wanted it on the front because I love this quote. I am no bird and no net ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will. I love that. And I love this picture, but I also like this. And it has the cage on the front, which, you know, it's pretty. It really turned out good. So this is the front instead of the back now. And then with the sage green inside on both the front and the back to cover up that nonsense stuff, the school stuff for the kids. And then here's the first one again. And I'm not sure which one I will use for which, but One will be for work notes, and the other one is going to be my media journal. Probably this one, because I really like this one. It's probably going to be my media journal. And I will come back with some flip throughs of that in the future once I actually start using it. So that is all for today, folks. I hope that you got some value out of this, and thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.